And good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Josh Engel. Today is Thursday, July 13th, and we are live streaming on our WLBB Facebook page. So if you have any questions or comments for our guest, Wil Rainey, Project Gift Coordinator, feel free to jump in the chat and throw those in there. I'd be happy to read them out to our guests. Today, we, as I mentioned, we have Wil from Southwire, Southwire's Project Gift here in the studio. We're chatting about the 19th annual Back to School On the Go giveaway that's going to be from 9 to noon this Saturday, July 15th, right at Midway Church in Villa Rica. Wil, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for joining us in the studio today. So it's getting close. We had you on the show a few weeks ago. We're wanting to make sure to hit it hard that folks do not miss this date, do not miss this opportunity to receive some school supplies on behalf of Southwire. How are things looking now that we're a couple of days out?
Yeah, and things are coming together, as they always do the week or so or the couple of days before the event. We're getting ready. We'll be out there setting up tomorrow, and of course, we're just excited. We're excited for the event. This is one of our favorite things to do. We host a few community events throughout the year, and Back to School is our biggest signature event. So we're excited. We hope to see everyone out.
So you mentioned your other events there. For folks who might have missed the last program, perhaps never tuned into a Project Gift program before here on Community Voice, could you talk a bit about the organization itself, and perhaps take us through the events and initiatives that Project Gift takes on?
Sure. So Project Gift was actually started in 2005 by a group of about 15 Southwire employees, and it started after Hurricane Katrina, kind of rocked Louisiana and the Gulf Coast. They saw just the destruction, and they wanted to go down there and help. And so they took a group. They went down to Gulfport, Mississippi, to host a Christmas on the Coast event where they gave Christmas gifts to children whose families had been impacted by the hurricane. And that was the very first Project Gift event. It came back, and they didn't just leave that heart of service in Mississippi. They brought it back here to West Georgia, and it's grown ever since. We have currently over 1,000 of our employees are active in Project Gift, and we are active in probably nearly 30 communities across North America.
So it's not just this Carrollton campus. It's actually, at multiple facilities across the country.
Yeah, absolutely. It started in Carrollton, but of course, service is everywhere. Like, people want to serve. People, feel good about giving back to other people, and it's just kind of exploded. So we're everywhere.
Why would you say that Southwire prioritizes service as it does?
Well, Southwire has what we call our 5 tenets of sustainability, and it's kind of our values that we use to kind of operate as an organization, and giving back is one of those tenets. Giving back has always been a very important part of who Southwire is as a company, and we do it through Project Gift service. We give charitably to organizations across the country, whether it's national organizations or local organizations like Keep Carroll Beautiful. We have long-standing partnerships with organizations like that who actually go out and make the difference in the community, and so we're just excited to kind of keep that going.
Yeah, you mentioned your partnership with Keep Carroll Beautiful. I know that Project Gift and Southwire has, adopted KCB's initiative for e-recycling. Mm-hmm. At least up to a few years ago, that partnership had resulted in at least 1 million pounds of electronic equipment that were properly recycled instead of ending up in a landfill with, possibly hazardous materials that are inside these electronics getting into the groundwater.
Yeah.
Each year that continues to grow. You also have Toys for Tots. Tell us a bit about some of these other events, like the e-recycling and the Toys for Tots.
Yeah, so e-recycling has been something I think that we have partnered with KCB with for as long as we've worked together. I don't really know that I'm not sure, but I think that's true. It's one we host it twice a year at Southwire's corporate office, and like I said, we're in other places as well as Carrollton, other Southwire facilities see what we do with e-recycling. They're like, man, how can we do that where we are? And so it's actually, we're in the process of kind of making that happen in other places as well. But you said Toys for Tots. Yeah, that'll be our next signature event coming up. I hate to say coming up because it's in December, but December will be here before we know.
Let's be honest. So, this year's flying by. Let's be honest.
It's crazy. Yeah. So, we'll be set up in the Walmart parking lot as usual. I believe the dates are December 7th and 8th for that. Awesome. So just kind of go ahead and mark that on your calendars.
Yeah, mark that date. Your partnership with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots and the Carroll County, their organization, the local arm. Mm-hmm. Would you say that that's the most attended event? Because I know you have the e-recycling, you have the Walk for Water, which is you've been doing now for a couple of years. You got the disaster reliefs. If you had to pinpoint which one of these initiatives has the biggest turnout from the community, any just an idea, which do you think that would be?
Oh, that's tough. Because Toys for Tots, last year we collected over 6,500 toys, but also last year's back to school we served almost 1,000 cars. Oh. So it's between the two, I would say. But I think back to school is probably our most attended event from the community.
Why would you say that is?
Well, I think people recognize that there is a need for school supplies for children in our county. We have so many kids who have to worry about starting their school off right with the things that they need to be successful. And, we see that. We recognize that continues to be a need in our area. And for as long as that continues to be a need, we're gonna do this event. We're gonna make sure that every child has an equitable opportunity to start the school off right.
And I know that, being a kid, you're free of the adult responsibilities that we have now discovered exist as we grew into adulthood. But it's not easy being a kid. It's not easy being a kid, especially in a closed system like a small school, where perhaps your family is from a lower socioeconomic level, mm-hmm. and it's harder to have those materials. And you know how it is. I mean, kids bully each other and they make fun of each other for not having the newest shoes, for not having the supplies. We know that teachers go into their own pockets often to provide school supplies for the kids.
Right.
This initiative that you've put together, I think has kind of it's experienced a swell this year too. You have, so as we were chatting yesterday on some of our other stations over at our Parkwood studio, you were talking about how many bags not only you were planning on giving away this year, but across campus, mm-hmm. all the campuses. Could you speak to that?
Yeah. So in West Georgia, we have over 4,000 bags that we'll be giving away at Midway Church this Saturday. But that's just a very small part of the entire initiative. We have over 30,000 bags that we're giving away across all of our Southwire campuses. So, our Southwire volunteers worked hard to pack all of these bags, all 30,000 bags. We packed 14,000 here in West Georgia. Well, our other facilities are packing the rest of the 16,000. So when you see a back-to-school bag and you see us put on this initiative, whether you're in West Georgia, or whether you're in Bremen, Indiana, or Denton, Texas, or wherever your local Southwire facility is, you can know that hard work was put into that and people actually cared enough to take the time to put those bags together and give them to you.
Time is 8:38. I'm joined this morning with Wil Rainey, the Project Gift Coordinator for Southwire's Project Gift. We're chatting today about the 19th annual Back to School On the Go giveaway that's going to be happening 9 to noon this Saturday, July 15th at the Midway Church going towards Villa Rica. We're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about the event and how you and your family can participate in this event and possibly receive some school supplies from the fine folks at Southwire and a lot more. So stay with us.
The AP Scholar Journey at Oak Mountain Academy is designed to provide students with a clearly defined advanced placement curriculum track to earn a series of distinctions upon graduation. This journey enables academically prepared students to pursue college-level studies throughout 17 AP courses in 5 subject categories while enrolled at OMA. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
And we're back to Community Voice. Today is Thursday, July 13th. We have Wil Rainey, the Project Gift Coordinator from Southwire's Project Gift, the nonprofit arm of Southwire, here in the studio with us today. We are chatting about the 19th annual Back to School On the Go giveaway that's going to be this Saturday, July 15th from 9 to noon at Midway Church on the way to, it's in Villa Rica. Just want to make sure all our listeners know we are currently live streaming on our WLBB Facebook page. So if you have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, any suggestions for our fine guest, feel free to hop in the comments and let us know about that. Wil, so we had you in the studio a few weeks ago to kind of talk about this event, to make sure folks were saving the date. Here we are, just a few days out. Let's talk about the event itself. So there are families tuning in that are going to want to participate, that are want to be included in this giveaway. Kind of take folks through the process, and so they'll be aware of how it's all going to go down on the day.
Yeah, sure. So we're super thankful for the partnership that we've built with Midway Church over the past few years. You know, we moved to a drive-through format back during COVID, and we found out that it actually really worked for us. So we have been able to set up a format to where people who come to get bags don't even have to get out of their cars. If they'll just show up to Midway Church, they'll be directed into the line, and when they follow the line, all the Southwire volunteers will take care of the rest. Southwire volunteers will check you in. They will ask you how many bags you need, and then our other volunteers will give them to you, and you can be on your way. So it's super simple. No extra paperwork is needed. No proof of where you go to school is needed. So yeah.
Are you? Do you think you're able to serve more families because of the on-the-go, the drive-through format?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah. We're super. Once the line gets moving, you've seen Southwire volunteers at work. They're very efficient.
They're like ants. I always describe them as ants. It's like they just climb on top of things and like take care of it and just spread out and the car goes. Yeah, like it's all taken care of.
It's funny because as a company, we're really focusing on our efficiency, and so it's kind of you get all of these people from all different areas of the business together, and it just kind of transfers over into what we're doing. So it's cool to see that
they just put the mindset and the standard operating procedures they use at work, they do it here, and that's how with KCB they've able to recycle probably 1.5 million pounds of electronic equipment at this point.
Yeah,
giving out thousands and thousands and thousands of toys at the Toys for Tots event. So now you were talking about the actual bags themselves. So you mentioned that there are 2 separate age groups. Mm-hmm. Could you take us through those age groups and what is in each bag?
Sure. Yeah. So we have bags for students who are in kindergarten through 3rd grade. And then we have a separate bag for students who are in 4th through 12th grade. Our kindergarten bags, or our K3 bags, have colored pencils, erasers, pencil sharpeners, 3-prong folders, wide ruled paper, junior scissors, anything that you think you might need to kind of succeed in that area. And then our 4th through 12th grade bags have highlighters, pens, pencils, college ruled paper, some folders as well, index cards, pencil sharpeners, erasers. I don't know if I already said that, but that kind of gives you an idea.
Absolutely. Now that's a lot of materials. How does Southwire acquire that many school supplies so fast?
We have had a partnership this year with Carrollton Office Equipment. They helped us get these school supplies for all 30,000 bags that are being given away.
Oh, like across the whole company?
Just across the whole company.
Oh.
Yeah. So they helped us get all of those supplies, and they even helped us throughout the packing process. Shout out to Teresa Lofton. She was a huge help on that.
Shout out to Teresa.
I don't know that I could have made it through that without her, but yeah, they were a huge help, and they actually donated some of the supplies as well. So thank you to them. If you need some office supplies, go see the fine people over at COE, and they'll help you out.
I mean, clearly there's no order too big they have a problem filling. I mean, 30,000 bags, and in each bag, I mean, we're talking like 8 to 10 items. I mean, these different items that they need for the school year.
Yeah.
So logistically, last year, I know that there was a little spillover traffic-wise into the road. This year, you've taken some steps to try to avoid that. Could you speak to that?
Yeah, so that was really one of the only issues we ran into last year. Otherwise, it was very efficient, and like I said, once the line started moving, it went pretty well. But we've worked with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office this year and Cornerstone Parking to try to develop a route that kind of gives additional queue space for cars, so we can get more cars in the parking lot waiting instead of having them backed out onto the road. And then the sheriff's office will also be kind of on site helping to direct traffic as well this year.
Oh, for real? Like the Carroll County Sheriff's Department?
Yeah, they'll be out at they'll be out at the highway.
Excellent. So that's at the actual entrance. They're going to be there to help keep things orderly.
Right.
So anybody that's trying to like turn in from a different direction or something, they'll be there to kind of keep that. Okay,
yes.
that's good to know. That's
the number one thing is we want everybody to be safe. We don't want somebody who's coming to get school supplies to end up in an accident. So we want to make sure that we can hold this event safely and get everybody what they need.
Well, and folks have been hearing the promos that have been playing the last few weeks. B92 Country, one of our sister stations here at WLBB, they're going to play a bigger role this year in the back to school on the go giveaway, in that they are providing live traffic updates. So we have everybody loves Michael Vincent. We got Michael Vincent and Paula C. And they're going to be we're going to have an anchor out near the road so that there can be live traffic updates, so folks can kind of get an idea how the line's moving. And of course, I know that some folks over at B92, they have some pretty fun surprises in store for those that are in line. There's going to be some, let's just put it this way, there's going to be some pretty cool things, pretty cool prizes given out to cars that meet certain criterias.
Yes.
So let's just put it this way. You might want to go ahead and preset in your vehicle to B92 Country, at least one of your presets, set it to B92 Country, so that on the day at 9 o'clock, when you're in line, you can tune into B92. You can get constant updates, not just from yourself and the rest of the Southwire team, but also get updates from our team on site and the traffic anchor that's going to be kind of giving ideas to how the line's moving, and help people stay prepared in terms of that. It's going to be a fun day. I think it's really going to be a fun day.
It always is with you guys, and I just want to thank y'all for being willing to come out and be on site with us. You come out to the disaster relief drives and Toys for Tots and
beat the drum. We like to beat the drum. Get folks out.
You help us out a lot, so thank y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, and I think it's cool too, because the last few years we haven't really been able to have a live remote at the event because we've been in the throes of the pandemic and COVID. So something like this, we're talking about 30,000 bags of school supplies spread out across all the Southwire companies. Something like this is incredibly expensive. And I know that Southwire puts a lot of resources into pulling this off. Do you have any local sponsors, any organizations that you might want to give a shout out to that have helped step up and make this possible.
Yeah, of course. I say this every time, and you probably get tired of hearing me say it, but we really could not put these events on without our community partners. I want to give a huge thank you to Project Gift's elite sponsor, or elite partner for the year, which means they agreed to be a presenting partner for all three of our signature events, and that's the University of West Georgia. We've come into a great partnership with them over the last 2 years. It's been beneficial for both of us, so huge thank you to them. And also huge shout out to West Georgia Technical College. They're always a big sponsor for Back to School. They help us out with our My Favorite Teacher contest, which I want to talk about during the next segment. So also, of course, Carrollton Office Equipment, Med Impact, Serve Pro, 316 Medicine, Tysinger Vance, New Leaf Marketing, Graddick Comms, Phoenix Wood Products, Associated Credit Union, Times Georgian, Heartwood Products, and Addison Smith came on as a partner kind of last minute, so huge shout out to them. And then Superior Mountain Water in Carrollton is providing water for our volunteers on the event day, so thank you to them.
Perfect. It's going to be a day of it's going to be a fun day for all that come out. Again, this is the Back to School on the Go giveaway. It's going to be this Saturday, just a couple of days now, from 9 to noon at Midway Church in Villa Rica. I'll tell you what, we're going to go and take our second commercial break, but when we come back, we'll wrap up our conversation with Project Gift Coordinator Wil Rainey as we chat about the Back to School event and a little bit more information when we come back. So stay with us.
The customized academic scholar journey at Oak Mountain Academy is individually designed to provide students with a personalized, clearly defined academic track that earns the student a series of distinctions upon graduation. This journey enables academically driven students to pursue a focused, rigorous course of study personalized to their wants and desires. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
And we're back to Community Voice. Today is Thursday, July 13th. I'm your host, Josh Engel, and we have Wil Rainey from the Project Gift Coordinator from Southwire in the studio with us today. We're chatting about the 19th annual Back to School on the Go giveaway that is happening 9 to noon this Saturday, July 15th. Just a couple of days from now. It's going to be at Midway Church in Villa Rica. I want everyone to know we are live streaming on our WLBB Facebook page. So if you have any last-minute questions or comments, suggestions, thoughts, love, whatever you want to send people, the folks at Southwire, come on, hop in the comments, and we'll be happy to read those out to our guests. So so if you're just tuning in, be sure to check out the full episode. We've covered a lot of important information for this weekend's event. Before we took our last break, you mentioned the contest that you've been facilitating to celebrate our local teachers. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so you were talking earlier when we were chatting about that there's a need, of course, for students to have school supplies, and obviously there is, or we wouldn't be doing the event. But you mentioned that teachers use their own money a lot of the times to fund their classrooms and make sure that they have the things that they need. And so we realized that, and so we have $1,500 to give away to across 3 teachers. So 3 teachers will be selected to win $500 each. And if you have a favorite teacher, if your kid has a favorite teacher, visit southwire.com/back-to-school or /back-to-school, and you can find the form to fill out and nominate your favorite teacher, and they could win $500 to spend in their classroom.
This is awesome. So when will they be giving away the prizes?
Yeah, so entries are available until August 1st. We'll stop taking entries on August 1st, and that's when we'll do the drawings. And so once that happens, keep an eye out on Southwire social media pages. We'll announce the winners, and you'll find out.
Yeah, we'll definitely be sharing that post when it comes out. So these 3 lucky teachers from the, does it matter, county, city school system? It's just all of our local schools, if they're nominated and are selected. Now, the nomination process, does it kind of give an opportunity for kids to tell a story about the teacher?
Yeah, it does. So it'll ask for your name, what grade you're in, what your teacher's name is, and then there's also a field that asks you why that teacher is your favorite teacher. And I was reading through them yesterday, and it was some of the sweetest responses. And one of them really got my heart. It was like, so and so, this teacher showed me that it's okay to be myself, and that just speaks volumes to not only it speaks volumes to the impact that teachers have on students' lives. My mom is a teacher, and I see it every day. Students who have long since graduated come back and tell her, thank you for being how you were to me. You
were a voice of guidance and a voice of support, and maybe an otherwise lonely, dark time.
It's something that you don't really think about, because some of these students may not get that kind of attention outside of school. So it's incredible.
That support goes a long way. So shout out to Southwire for celebrating these 3 lucky teachers. Be sure to go on, and if your kids or if you're a kid listening and you want to nominate a teacher, just go to the website one more time.
Yeah, southwire.com/back-to-school.
And the registration will be right there to nominate your favorite teacher.
Yeah, so the button will be at the bottom of the page. So scroll down to the bottom of the page, past the sponsors, and you'll see a section that says My Favorite Teacher Contest.
Perfect. Well, we only have about 4 minutes left. So if we could, let's take listeners through the event one more time. Pertinent information they need to know. I'll go ahead and get my bid out up front. Go ahead and preset one of your stations to B92 Country. So on the day of the event, this Saturday, you can get live updates from the Southwire team. If any changes, if anything, we need to shift anything, that will be the place to get the information.
Yep.
So go ahead and set that. And then at 9 o'clock, the event starts. Take us through it.
Yeah, so you'll show up to Midway Church. You'll be directed to the queue line by one of our great team members from the Cornerstone Parking team. And you'll go through the queue, and once you reach the check-in station, you'll be greeted by a smiling face from a Southwire volunteer, and they will ask you how many kids you have in your car, or what category of bag you need and how many you need. Just want to say that for however many kids you have in your car, you will receive 1 bag. If there is just parents or grandparents, or if you're picking up for kids, we have a maximum of 3 bags per vehicle. So if you don't have children in your car, you can only get 3 bags. But if you have 4 children in your car, then each one of them can receive a bag, if that makes sense. So,
perfect.
Once you go through the check-in process, you'll drive forward to the distribution station. You'll be greeted by another Southwire volunteer with a smiling face, and they will give you your bags, and you can be on your way.
Perfect. So you come in the front entrance there. Deputies will be there. The parking team will be there. They'll steer you through the parking lot. They have a route that they're going to take everyone through, so as to keep as many people in the parking lot as possible, not out in the road.
Yeah.
And that also helps everything move a lot faster too. So once you get through the line, there'll be an exit you're directed to, and you just go back on your day.
Yeah, and I will say that we actually have 2 ways to exit. One of our things with Midway, or at the same time, they're going to be doing a clothes closet down at Lifeline Mission. So it gives an opportunity for kids to actually go in and pick out some school clothes. So we'll learn more about that kind of at the event. Our volunteers will talk to you about that, ask you if that's something that you're interested in doing. And if it is, you'll go out one way. If it's not something you're interested in doing, we'll direct you out to the highway. In
the time we have left, one more time, let's give some love to the sponsors that have helped make that happen.
Sure. So thank you to the University of West Georgia, West Georgia Technical College, Carrollton Office Equipment, Med Impact, Surf Pro, 316 Family Medicine, Tysinger Vance, New Leaf Marketing, Addison Smith, Graddick Communications, Phoenix Wood Products, Associated Credit Union, Times Georgian, the Heartwood Products, and Superior Mountain Water.
Excellent. That's the 19th annual Back to School on the Go giveaway this weekend, this Saturday, July 15th, 9 to noon at Midway Church in Villa Rica. For more information, just go to Southwire and check out their Back to School page. Will, thank you for what's going to be a great event and for coming on the program with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And everyone tuning in at home and online, we'll see you next time.